Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Yes, good evening, everyone. So, welcome back to Pageant Mag Philippines live sessions. And to our friends and viewers from the rest of the world, good afternoon, good morning, or good day. Today, yours truly once again, by the way, is Franz Rodriguez, your pageant correspondent. And we are live simultaneously on our Facebook page and, of course, on our YouTube channel. Now, guys, if you are new to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe and click the bell notification and follow and like our Facebook page as well for more pageant updates. We are also on Instagram and TikTok, so please do follow us on all our social media platforms. And guys, if you have any questions for our guests for tonight, it's actually a very special episode. And just please don't hesitate to drop your questions down below at the comment section. All right. So once again, this episode is being brought to us by Celebrity, a celebration of tea of a lifetime. Yes, so we are back, and yes, guys, our guest for tonight doesn't need further introduction anymore because, for all I know, everybody knows who she is. So she just actually got crowned as Binibining Pilipinas International, and she is a forensic scientist. So, guys, please do help me to welcome our guest. With a virtual applause, of course, the pride of Masbate and our pride, Miss Hannah Arnold. Hello,
Hi! Hi,
yes,
Tito!
hello. Good
Hi,
evening, my
everyone!
queen.
Oh my gosh, I'm
I,
craving milk tea now after that that promo.
really?
Yes.
Do you want to have some?
Let's discuss later, maybe. But
Yes.
diet first.
In preparation for Miss International.
Yes po.
Yes.
Hi, everyone watching,
Mm.
and thank you, Pageant Mag Fails, for having me tonight. I hope everyone's safe.
Well, it is our pleasure and honor to have you here, to have you with us tonight, Queen Hannah. Ayan, that's the best address that I can give to you right now. Hi, Arvin.
Hi, Arvin.
Ayan. And hello, Teresa de Silva. Hello, good
Hi,
evening to you.
Teresa.
Ayan. So, guys, if you have any questions, if you want to know more about our queen, just drop your questions down below. She is very much willing to share her life to us.
Yes.
Diba? Ayan. Um, Hannah, we know you as a forensic queen, as it has always been mentioned. Can you tell us more about this? Because to be honest, this is also our first time to hear about this. I mean, to hear about forensic. Well, though we know forensic as someone who could work with investigations like that, right? So,
Yes
can you
po.
tell us more about yourself, about this course that you had?
Yeah, so it's nice that you actually asked that because I just had a magazine story come out, and the title they had was Crowned Scientist, which is something you don't really hear every day. But I think everyone is seeing me now as the advocate for science because, like you said, I am a graduate of forensic science, and during the pandemic, I worked as a sleep scientist. So, for those who are unsure of my degree, in full, it's a Bachelor of Applied Science in Forensic Studies. So, exactly what you're imagining, SOCO, Scene of the Crime Operative, CSI, it's exactly like that. However, there's so many different elements to it. You could be the crime scene investigator, you could be the one inside the lab. You don't actually necessarily do every part in solving the crime. You may just focus on one aspect. And for me, I was always inspired as a child to give back to the community. And I loved science so much. So I found that that would be a great career for me. And in my course, I really developed so much respect for those who work in science because especially when you're in the laboratories, there's not really any windows. You're really just inside with all of the machines, the products and chemicals. So it really takes a lot of
Apparatuses.
patience. Yes, it takes so much patience. And
Oo.
I think that's something that, not everyone can do. So I hope with this platform and with this reign, I'm going to be able to encourage more people to take up science courses just like me.
Yeah, because it is just very interesting because there are too rare or seldom we hear that beauty queens are actually so much into science or at least a graduate of forensic science. This is too new to us, and it is actually interesting as well that you are pushing everyone to somehow study science because even I myself I wasn't really I had I do not have so much interest in science before, especially when we were talking about familia, something like that. Two kingdom, like kingdoms and all things, kingdom of animals and
Yes.
all those stuff. Yeah, I had so much difficulties about that before
Mm.
memorizing them.
Yes po.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. But for
So
me, I find that for me, I didn't really like doing speeches or essays. I found like science reports or what I am better at.
that's nice, no? Hi, Christine May Antang Ibanez.
Hi,
Hello.
Christine.
And Delmar Bonga. Hi.
Hi,
Good evening po.
Delmar.
Ayan. Wow, grabe. Teresa is watching. Teresa Silva is watching on
Hi.
our YouTube. Hello. All the love to you guys. Now, guys, let's get to know more about our queen. So, your candidacy in or your journey in Binibining Pilipinas was actually, shall we call it like a roller coaster as well?
Yes, I think that's a
Mhm.
good term.
Can you tell us more about this, Hannah? Because you started in 2019 in Binibining Pilipinas, right?
Yes
Mm-hmm.
po. Yes.
Mm-mm.
So for those who are watching and have only recently seen my crowning moment, it wasn't that simple. Just like some queens before me, it took them a few tries in the national pageant before they were
Mm-mm,
crowned. And just like me, I joined in 2019 and then I didn't give up, even though there was ups and downs. Like you said, like a roller coaster. You really
mm-mm,
have to just remember why you joined, who you're doing it
mm-mm,
for, and not give up on that dream. And I'm so glad that I had amazing people around me, people online, family, friends, trainers who saw my potential and really saw that I could be a queen. So,
mm-mm,
um, for anyone who is wondering if they should join, or maybe they've joined before a local
mm-mm,
pageant and they didn't quite make it, don't give up because maybe it's just not the right time yet, but
mm-mm, mm-mm.
it could still be yours. I think in the end, it's just up to God.
Absolutely, I definitely believe on that as well. That God has always plans for everyone. That's right. And Hannah, if you are going to look back at your 2019 stint with Binibining Philippines, that was your first time, just like you mentioned. Um, how did it make? How did this 2020 2021 differ from that? What have you learned from it, and what were your takeaway from that? From your first stint.
Yes. So, first of all, both journeys were very different, mainly
Mm-mm.
because of the pandemic restrictions. So, everything was
Abs-
quite physically different.
mm-mm.
But in 2019, I had just moved here in the Philippines in 2018.
Mm-mm.
So, I had spent most of my time training instead of really going around the community first. So when the time came to apply in 2019, screening, all the activities were nonstop for 3 months. I think my team and I, we just focused more on how to present myself with outfits, costumes, evening gown, but I wasn't really thinking again about my core of why I joined. It was for,
Mm-mm.
education, for the community. And I think that kind of got lost while I was
Mm-mm.
trying to be fierce, be someone else, because we know that the
Mm-mm.
top crown that time was Binibining Universe. So I think
Universe.
yeah, so all of us girls were trying to aim to be that person that could be back to back for Catriona Gray because she was the
Mm-mm.
reigning Miss Universe. I
Mm-mm.
truly appreciate the team that I had. I was an independent candidate, and I was with trainers who wanted to start their own little camp. So I truly have so much respect for them. We really tried. However, also, it just wasn't God's time yet. And then after that night, I already decided I wanted to join again. And I'm very grateful that a modeling agency invited me to join them. And
Mm-mm.
of course, I accepted because I really needed work. When you're joining a pageant, it's not that easy. It's not that it's, in other words, it's expensive. You need a
Yeah,
lot of
it's not all about
financial support.
Mm-mm. It's not
Yes.
all about glitz and glam. Yeah.
Yes, so I really
Mm-mm.
needed to find work, and I'm so
Mm-mm.
grateful that because of them, I had modeling jobs almost every day. I had fashion shows, photo shoots, and it helped me with my confidence. It helped me to meet more people, meet more designers, and I even got to travel around the Philippines. And I think that made me more independent. A lot of people may have seen me actually. I used to take the UV Express, the MRT, the Angkas just to get to all of my modeling jobs. And I think that really gave me more independence, more confidence, and it really helped me be stronger for my return in 2020. And then, of course, unfortunately, the pandemic happened, so things changed. But I'm so grateful that everyone still gave their support on social media. I could still see it, the messages, the comments, and I was able to take all of those lessons from 2018 up until that coronation night. And I just made sure I was my authentic self. That on that
Mm-mm.
night, I just showed the judges me.
Mm-mm.
Um, and I'm just so grateful that everyone said, everyone's kind of been saying I had some glow to me that night. So I'm just so glad that they appreciated me for me, and now I'm here as your queen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Hannah, because I've actually seen, yeah, I've actually seen how you have evolved and how you have actually improved. So there was actually a significant improvement that you have shown during your 2020 bet for Binibining Pilipinas or at Binibining Pilipinas. And yeah, it was really very evident. There was
Thank you, Paul.
actually, yeah, there was actually a very significant glow that you were showing, that was actually showing in you then back then during your candidacy, right? So I think we can't really, and we can't really we can't really, complain for you winning the title. And you know what, before even Aling Vicky Rushton got well uh gave up, right? Or backed out, or at Binibining Pilipinas. You and actually Ali and Vicky were the top bets for Miss International title. Now, how did you feel about that when uh, Vicky Rushton eventually backed out backed out at Binibining Pilipinas rather?
Yes, so actually, I was a fan of Ati Vim when she
Mm-mm.
first competed. You know, I really expected her to have one of the crowns back in
Crowns.
2018 that would allow her to compete. But I was really amazed at how well she did, you know, already to have the first runner up position. So actually, when I joined in 2019, I was kind of fangirling that I was a candidate alongside her and, you know, also Ati Samantha. They were girls that I really looked up to, and I was so amazed by their strength to come back and compete straight away.
Mm-mm.
And actually, I don't think it was captured, but it's something that I remember from the night of 2019. As soon as all the girls were crowned and they were having their official pictures, the rest of us from top 15 were still holding hands behind them.
Mm-mm.
And Ati Vim was down the other end, and I was down the stage right with my best friend Isabella, and Vicky straight away looked for me and she gave me a hug, and we both um, I can't remember if we said like sorry to each other. You know, we felt kind of
Emotional.
yes, and we just hugged each other because we knew that we were both front runners back in 2019. You know, and we were still proud of ourselves, but we, you know, weren't expecting that outcome. So we really hugged each other on 2019, and then um, I did some modeling with her also in 20 end of 2019, and I remember that time it wasn't yet announced that her age would still allow her to come back. So
Mm-mm.
I was telling her of my plans that I wanted to go back and join again, and she was so supportive of me. She really said that I could be a Miss Philippines also, and I really appreciated that because it would be hard for her to see someone else having their dreams, you know, come true while hers kind of depended on the age that they would allow. So then
Yes.
when the age was moved up and she was able to apply for Binibining Pilipinas,
Mm-mm.
I was excited. You know, of course, I knew that she would be competing for the crown that I wanted also, which is Binibining
Yes.
International. But again, she is such a kind hearted person, someone who really gives back for the community, especially the story of her family. She's always looking out for others. So for
Mm-mm.
me, I was always secretly rooting for her also. So
Mm-mm.
it actually really broke the hearts of all of us candidates when, because of the age change again,
Yes, that's right.
a lot of our Binibini sisters had to step back. It wasn't necessarily their decision, but it was
Mm-mm.
unfortunately because of the new rules. So
That's right.
I'm just, yes, I'm just so grateful that on the night of coronation, they gave like a tribute to those girls, the
Mm-mm.
6 girls who had to step out. And really, like I've said in another interview before, Ati Vim was really my Binibining International. So I really hope that she is still proud of me. I hope that I can see her after ECQ, and maybe I can ask for her prayers and find out what she would have done if she was going over to Miss International. Maybe I can bring like a part of her over there
Mm.
also. Yes.
Yeah, that's so sweet of you.
Of
Di
course,
ba?
po.
Yeah. And we have a question here coming from Danielle, and he is asking, why should you be crowned Miss International 2021? I know that this is a very common question.
Yes, well, thank you, Daniel. Actually, it's a common question, but it is hard
The
to,
hardest as
answer.
well.
Yes, especially when they give you like a time restraint or
Mhm,
something.
mhm,
But for me, I think it would take more than just my words to show why I deserve to be crowned Miss International. I'm hoping that um, the organization and the community see my willingness to help the community and bring about that cultural understanding. I hope that they will listen to me in all of my conversations that we engage in, and I hope that they will, really just feel that
mhm,
kindness and that passion I have for the crown. So I hope they use all of their senses, and I hope that I will have that how to explain that, that
mhm.
connection with them through every activity. It won't just be on the night itself. It really takes a candidate that shows that throughout the whole journey. So I am
Mm-mm.
looking forward to Japan, and I hope that I can engage in so many conversations with them that they're gonna understand why I should be crowned Miss International 2021.
Exactly.
Sorry, my answer was so, but thank you,
Yeah,
Daniel.
yeah, because it's just too hard to answer. It is just too hard to answer. It's the most difficult, actually. Very common, but it's the most difficult to answer by a candidate itself or herself,
Yes,
rather. Mhm.
yes,
Uh-uh.
and because I truly believe again that the organization has always chosen such amazing women.
Queen.
Yes, they've been amazing role models, and all
Mhm.
of them have continued to be of great service to the community. And
That's right.
I'm sure that every girl that will be representing their country really has the potential to win. So again, I just give it all to God, and it will be up to them on that coronation night.
Yeah. But of course, Philippines is again expecting to win a crown because the last time we won the crown was in 2016. And for the Philippines, that's quite a long time. Yeah. Di ba?
Yes,
That, does,
po.
that doesn't add any pressure to you?
Um, well, even though it's the last time we've had the main crown,
Mhm.
since Ati Kylie, we've seen so many other girls though still perform so well,
Mhm.
like Atiza and
Patch.
Patch. They
Mhm.
really made it so far, and they didn't only capture the hearts of us here in the Philippines. People all around the world really loved seeing them perform, loved hearing their speeches and stories. So I just hope that everyone will appreciate again me being me.
Mm-mm.
Um, and I'm just excited. I already feel so much support. I don't really see any negative comments or anything, so I'm not really feeling the pressure yet. Maybe once I get that specific date that I have to fly over there or something, maybe I'll feel a bit nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't necessarily feel the pressure.
As of yet.
Yes,
Mhm.
as of yet.
because the coronation so far is tentatively scheduled on this in December rather, right? But there is no
Um,
date yet.
yes, I'm not sure. November, December. They were just waiting for the Olympics to finish first and see
Mhm.
how, the safety of everyone was. So let's see. Hopefully, they can give us an updated schedule soon, and then we can all pray for for that.
Mhm. All right, so let's go back to Binibini Pilipinas teen. So Danielle is asking, who are your closest friends at Binibini Pilipinas 2021?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to my closest friends back in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, back then, I think I was always joined at the hip with Maria Isabella Galleria from
Mm-hmm.
Sorsogon and Patch and Cassie Chan. We called ourselves the Powerpuff Girls. Even though Powerpuff Girls, there's only three, we still called ourselves that, the four of
Mm-hmm.
us. So I appreciate them because if it also wasn't for their support, then I wouldn't have felt the confidence to come back and, make new friends. So I was training with aces and queens. So most of the girls that I became the closest with were from my camp because I saw them the most, with limited physical activities in Araneta. Most of my interactions with the girls were through training. So I really became close with Karina from La Union and Pat from Quezon Province. And this started in 2020 because backstage we would be waiting for quite some time for photo shoots and things. So we would always order McDonald's nuggets. And that's why we called ourselves the Nuggies. And I think we now have some pageant pages that are calling us the Nuggies. So beyond the pageant training and activities, those two girls helped me get through the pandemic. When the lockdown first happened last year, we were so unsure of what was going to happen next, when the pageant would push through, if we should focus on other dreams. And because of these two girls, I was able to express myself. It was a safe space for us to talk and
Mm-hmm.
rant or cry or just have happy conversations, and they truly helped me get through it all. And then when we all came back in Araneta again this year, I think all 34 of us girls became so close. And especially our week long rehearsals, and we had to stay in Novotel, all of us became like sisters, cousins, family.
Mm-hmm.
So I think anyone that you ask, we would all say we became friends, and you didn't really feel the competition. Everyone was really uplifting each other.
Wow, that's really very sweet of you guys, no? And I know that Karina and Pat Babista are as well are equally sweet just like you are.
Yes, yes po.
Mm-mm. Diba? I've been seeing you guys in Araneta noon every events before pandemic. So no, I can see really how sweet these people are with you. No? Ayon. Anyways, we have a question. Thank you so much, by the way, for the question, Danielle. Question from Raymart El Ducal Bautista. What would you do if fear wasn't a factor and you could not fail?
Ooh.
Tricky. Mm-hmm.
Well, as soon as I saw the word fear,
Mm-hmm.
I have a fear of falling, like falling from the sky, like
Mm-hmm.
skydiving, free
Heights.
falling. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could literally do something without any fear and knowing that I would be safe, I would want to go skydiving or yeah, I think that would just let out so many emotions. It would just, excite you so much. You could just scream. You could see the beauty of the islands below you. That would be
Mm-hmm.
lovely because I'm truly scared of that. That's the biggest fear. So I
Yeah,
would literally skydive.
that's also overcoming your fear, right?
Yes.
Okay, so another question from Raymart. Ano yung pinaka pinaghahandaan mo na sa tingin mo hindi masyadong pinaghahandaan ng ibang Miss International. So what are you preparing the
Mm,
most that you think other candidates or delegates are
yes.
not really preparing for?
That's hard because we don't really know what's happening behind the scenes,
That's right.
how they're training.
Mhm.
And I know that the past winners, the past Miss Internationals that we've had in the Philippines or from the other countries, they all
Mhm.
brought something different every time. But they were also just being themselves. They weren't really trying to fake anything, you know. So
Mhm.
I I've actually gotten to talk to some of the other candidates. We have a group chat and they're all so lovely. We're really updating each other on the situations in our countries, how we're feeling, and I can't really pinpoint what they would be doing to prepare. I think we're all kind of in the same position where we're just trying to read, stay updated with what's happening, and just make sure we give so much respect there to the Japanese while we are in their country. Um,
Mhm.
so, in terms of like pasabog, you know, with my costumes or evening gowns, I'm sure maybe they will look different to past
Mhm.
Miss Philippines, but yeah, I'm not too sure at this stage.
Absolutely, we can actually weigh or gauge what they are preparing for and what not, right?
Yes,
Because
po.
yeah, we have no close interaction with them. So hopefully, but we are very hopeful that everything we are preparing for, especially Hannah, would always be the best.
Yes,
Diba?
po.
Mm-mm. So when we return, guys, we'll definitely. Oh, by the way, before we go on break, rather, let's play muna. Yan. So
Okay.
lighter muna tayo ngayon. Okay, guys. So let's have you ever had? I believe that you are very much familiar with the Never Had I Ever. So it's just like modified game of this. All right. So are you ready, Hannah?
Okay, po.
You have no choice.
Yes. Laban
Yeah,
lang, let's go.
laban lang. Ayan, you have no choice but to do it. So here we go.
Okay. So wait po. Do I
Mm.
answer yes? Is it yes or no questions or
Yes,
how do
it's a
I
yes or
answer?
no. Yeah, it's
Ah,
a yes
okay.
or no question. Then we'll talk about it. Now,
Okay.
so Queen Hannah, have you ever had worn an oversized or undersized pair of shoes?
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Do I so I share my story or
Yeah. Uh huh.
okay.
Sure. Sure. Go ahead.
Yes. I think oversized has never happened because I have big feet. So it's always undersized. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I love my stylist and the sponsors, but unfortunately, even if I give a bigger size, the shoes
Mm-hmm.
that arrive end up being a bit smaller. But you know, tiis ganda. You know, for some photo shoots and OOTDs, I still wear them, and then as soon as the camera is gone, I'll take it off and rest my feet.
Absolutely, that's actually happening, no? When the sponsors are sending things like shoes, nga, no? There could be a possibility that's if it's not bigger, definitely it's smaller.
Yes, I was actually looking. I have all my shoes over there in the corner, and yeah, most of them are a bit smaller. So my tita wears them.
'Di ba? May makikinabang. Someone's using it still, no?
Yes po.
Mm-mm. So have you ever had snack out from home?
Sorry, what's snack out?
Sneak out.
Ah, snack out. Sorry, I
Mm-mm.
heard snacks. I was thinking of snacks. Maybe I'm hungry. Snack out. Actually, no. Because for those who don't know, I did grow up in Australia, and I was always too scared to disobey my parents, I guess. And also, the front door is quite loud. So you literally can't open the front door without anyone hearing that it's being opened. And
Oo.
I'm also quite scared like of the dark or something. So I never snuck out.
Mm-mm.
Maybe I told a little lie of where I was going exactly, but I didn't sneak out. They still knew I was out somewhere and had my phone with me if they needed to contact me.
'Di ba? So it's also happening to our queens.
Yes.
Queen Hannah, have you ever
Yes.
had wish to be a boy?
Oh, I
Did
know
it?
that there's that song of Beyonce, the one that "If I Were a Boy," and then
Yeah.
it was released so many years ago, and it really made me think. That's true. There are some benefits to being a boy or a
Mm-hmm.
man in the workplace, in society, but I never really wished. I've always been so happy
Mm-hmm.
being me and wearing pretty dresses and everything. So I never wished to be a boy, but I did think about there are some aspects where they benefit more than us.
Especially when giving birth, no? Ang hirap nun.
Oh,
'Di ba? Ayun. Have you ever had a crush on your instructor or on your professor or teacher?
oh, um, well, in Australia, I went to an all girls school,
Mm-hmm.
and most of our teachers were also women.
Mm-mm.
So most of the male teachers we had, not to be mean or anything, but they were already senior citizens. So I
Uh,
didn't have any crush on them. But
uh,
siguro lang, just when I would step outside of the school, we had a all boy school across the road, and that's when I would see some boys and think, oh, I have a crush on them, but not on the teachers po.
Ayun. So, have you ever had worn your sister's dress?
Yes, yes.
Do
So
you
I have.
fight?
For those who don't know that I have an ate, she is 4 years older than me, and we have the same size shoe, the same size pants and dresses. So really, we would go into each other's closets and borrow, or sometimes I would see she would keep something of mine for a while, but for me, I was kind of scared if she would see that I'm wearing it. So I would always make sure I ask first.
At least no fight that's happening, no?
Yes. But
Mm-mm.
sometimes probably also we would go into our mom's closet because she's also similar size. And then that's when I
Really?
would yeah, so that's when I
Mm.
would take something without asking her. And
Permission.
then yes, and then maybe that's where she will get angry.
That's so sweet, no? That you can actually wear your mom's dresses, no?
Yes.
Totoo yun eh. So have you ever had sold any of your pre-loved items?
Oh, um, I don't really sell any of my items. Ever
Mhm.
since I was younger, because I still have relatives in Masbate, my mom, dad, ate, and I, whenever we no longer fit something or we're no longer using the item, as long as it's still in good condition, we always put
Mm-mm.
it in a balikbayan box and sent it back to Masbate. So, every
Oh.
time I visit and I see my younger cousins, the girls, I see that they're wearing my old clothes or
Uh,
the old PlayStation that we used to have when we were younger. It's there in Masbate. So I never sell any of the items.
mm-mm.
I prefer to just give it
Mm-mm.
on. Actually, I was also thinking about that today. I have so many clothes that I'm no longer wearing. So I was
Mm-mm.
wondering if I should sell it, but I think now during the pandemic, it's better to just donate it.
Mm-mm. And I'm waiting for hand-me-downs. Joke.
Okay, just give me your address after.
And, Queen Hannah, have you ever had fallen in love with your best friend?
Oh, well, my best friends have always been, well, I mean, my main best friend, her name's Sarah. We became friends when we were 5 years old. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that love that I have for her that is like family, not like a romantic love, but she's always been there with me throughout everything. We grew up on the same street as each other.
Mm-hmm.
We went to similar schools and we had
Mm-hmm.
similar family backgrounds. So I
Mm-hmm.
really loved that I had someone who could relate with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I have Isabella also. It's like another love because she also understands pageantry, modeling, and what it's like to be away from family because her family's in the province and she's here in Manila. Um, and then yeah, so I think it's just really like a love that they're like
Mm-hmm.
family.
So it's more of filial love.
Yes, po.
Mm-mm-mm. Ayan.
Ikaw,
So
have you, Jar?
with my best friend, it's too hard.
Oh.
They know it.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding, you know ba? Yeah, it's just so hard to fall in love with a best friend. Though it already had happened to me. I fell in love with my best friend, and um, but I wasn't really that expressive of it. Though I know that he that he was able to notice it. So we talked about it. So something. Well, we leveled up, of course, but eventually we went back to friendship.
Okay. I'm glad that you spoke about it though. I think that's what a lot of people are too scared to do. And that's really what you need to do to understand how they're feeling also. So that's very brave. So
Thank you. Yeah, no, because it was true. Actually, it happened to me. So.
mm.
Mm-hmm. How about this one, Queen? Have you ever had eaten some Pinoy street foods like chicken isaw, chicken intestine?
Actually, I haven't had that. The only street food that I had once and maybe won't have for a while again is just balut.
Mm-hmm.
I think because in Australia we don't really have like that. So when every time I was younger and would see it and would hear what it was, I think I became so nervous because I really wasn't used to that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think maybe if I try and keep on having it, I could get used to it and enjoy it. But I
Mm-hmm.
think my my nerves.
So you haven't tried anything yet? Any street foods, Pinoy street foods?
Hindi po.
Talaga kahit yung anong tawag doon? Fish balls,
Oh yes,
tusok-tusok.
fish balls. Yes, actually,
Yeah.
because my agency, modeling agency, Mercator, it's in Makati, and whenever I would go visit the office, the road managers and we would go downstairs, and there was a really nice vendor there that we would eat. With you just stay there, keep on, ate more more.
Talaga, 'di ba masarap?
Yes, I miss that
Mm.
pre-pandemic times.
Yeah, sana magbukas na lahat. Actually, they're one of the most affected as well, because there's no
Yes.
more street foods around. So, kakasad. Ayan. All right. How about have you ever had too much fun at a party?
Um, Too much fun. I mean, there's the times where I I really laugh at everything and dance too much, if that's what you mean. Especially when it's a family party. If for anyone
Mm-mm.
who knows, for anyone who knows my dad, if you play old school music, he will dance so much, and he just makes everyone laugh.
Mm-mm.
Especially like my debut. I had my debut here in 2014,
Mm.
and every time I watch the video, I just enjoy it again because I know that we had so much fun that night because we were
Mm-mm.
all, all my relatives from around the different islands. We all came together in Manila, and then my dad is just so funny. So we really had so much fun at my 18th birthday.
Absolutely. And the boo here in the Philippines is totally different, right?
Yes, and I had a special singer, so that
Mm-mm.
I had a guest singer that night, and we actually became
Wow.
like best friends. So he's
Uh-uh.
also one of my best friends now.
Wow, that's nice.
Yes.
hmm Now, just for one last, have you ever had tried cutting classes?
Um Actually, in university, it's a lot easier because the professors in my university, they didn't really know us personally. When it was my first year, the lecture hall is so big that they don't really know all of us individually. So it was easy to not attend, or if you just stand up, they don't really ask where you're going. So
Mm-mm.
honestly, there were some times where my friends and I would sit there, and then we say, let's go eat. And then we would, go eat instead of listening to one more hour of the lecture. But in high school, it was definitely too hard to do that
Mm-mm.
because if you're not there on time in pastoral care in the morning at 9 a.m., they will call your parents, they'll ask where you are. And then again, I was too nervous that if my parents found out, it wasn't good, they're spending so much for my tuition
Absolutely.
fees. So no, I didn't do it then.
Absolutely. So, but normally here in the Philippines, that the cutting classes are always happening during high school.
Oh,
Anyways, cutting classes is not good, guys. So we
yes,
advise you
don't.
not to do it. Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
only for emergencies if it's
That's
really
right.
important.
All right. That's Thank you so much, Queen Hannah, for being very open to us and for unveiling those revelations to us. Right, the other side of our queen. So, when we return, guys, we will definitely ask all your questions. I know that we already have a lot of questions right here, and yeah, don't worry, guys. We will do our very best to get all your questions answered. All right. So please stay tuned. When we return, we'll have more talks with our queen, our Binibining Pilipinas International Queen Hannah, after this short break.
Yay.
All right. All right, so we are back, guys. All right, so there you go. Thank you so much for staying with us, guys. And yeah, so we have a question in here coming from Louise Barbon. I hope you're still there, Louise. So, hi, Queen Hannah. I am an avid fan of yours. Oh, this is not her question.
Hi,
Sorry.
Louise.
Here's her question. I have a question for Queen Bee. Is being a dual citizen make you feel less of a Filipino? Why or why not?
Actually, for me, no, definitely not. Because the community that I grew up in Australia had so many Filipinos. You know, I would attend the Independence Day balls, the Pasko sa Canberra. The Philippine embassy had so many events, and I really felt, you know, the spirit of the Filipinos there, that I would always try to explain that to my friends there, you know, being Filipino, you know, I'm so proud of it. And then of course my mom always taught me, you know, all the traditions, the culture. So it didn't make me feel any less, you know, being a dual citizen. It's, I know it's a privilege, I know not everyone can have that, so I'm just very grateful that I am both Filipino and Australian, and I have the ability to travel between both of my homes. And it's exactly that, they're both my homes, and I'm not more Filipino, not more Australian. I
Mm-mm.
really appreciate both aspects of my life.
You know, that's perfect, right? So, somehow it is a privilege to be a dual citizen as well. So there you go. It doesn't make you any less of of a Filipino, of course, guys. So, thank you so much for that, Luis. And we have a question coming from Mark Shaoy, and he's all the way from Los Angeles,
Wow.
USA. Yeah, so he is asking, what is your advice for an aspiring boxer like me? So he's a boxer and he's here
Wow.
because my goal is to become an Olympian representing USA in the future. Thank you. All right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, hi Mark.
Mm-hmm.
For us Filipinos, you know, we have three big
Mm-hmm.
B's that we love: basketball, boxing, and beauty pageants. So
Mm-hmm.
you're definitely aspiring to be in one of the industries that we
Mm-hmm.
truly love to watch and cheer for. Um, what I've seen from professional boxers, from the Olympians, you literally will get knocked down, you know, from the punches or from the criticisms, from the injuries. You will, you know, get knocked down. But as long as you know how to stand up, how to fight back, and how to use that strength, and remember the reason why you wanted to join, why you love that sport, and
Mm-hmm.
why you want that gold medal, then I think that will show, that will come out, and you will be the champion and the gold medalist. So we're looking forward to your your appearance in the Olympics. We'll wait
Mm-hmm.
for it. Maybe in the next 4 years, we'll see you there. So good luck, Mark.
Perfect. Yeah. He's saying that when you, Hannah, you're one of those people who inspired me to pursue boxing.
Oh,
Or
that's so nice. Just
diba?
stay safe though, because of course with COVID, with contact sports, it's a little harder now. So maybe for now, focus on training with, you know, just one on one with someone, all the movements, and then the boxing bag, and then when you're feeling confident and comfortable, go out there on that ring, and we'll be cheering for you.
Absolutely. But he'll he's going to be our one, well, our future flag bearer once again. I'm not just sure how, Marshall, if you're going to represent Philippines because you're in the US. Hopefully you will still represent the Philippines, huh? All right, so we have a question coming for Paul Paran. What Filipino food that you can share with your fellow Miss International candidates?
Ooh, well, I I was really thinking about this actually the other day. I'm hoping that they have like a kitchen or something that we can cook.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know, um, one of the most known dishes of the Philippines is, you know, sinigang. It helped me get through so many moments when I was feeling down, when I was feeling sick, when it was cold outside. You know, my mom's homemade sinigang, or from my tita, or even from the resto. It's so delicious. It just clears your mind. So I think
Mm-hmm.
the other candidates would be so amazed at the flavors. You know, at first, some of my Australian friends were
Mm-mm.
shocked. You know, the first spoonful. So I think that would be so warming for the
Mm-mm.
candidates because I know it will be cold in Japan. So sinigang definitely.
Yes. And that's actually good during cold nights, diba? Or cold
Yes.
days, diba? Perfect.
Yes.
Hi,
Oh, hi.
Pat!
Hi, Pat. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, Pat, when are you going to guest?
Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
when is she going to join again?
Yes, you should join once again, Pat. All right, so we have a question coming from Katrina Mondragon. Ayan. If you will be given a chance to answer the same question back during the Binibini Pilipinas 2019, how will you answer it? What was the question? Was it about politician? Your words for the.
um, yes, but I'm trying to think of the exact words. I think the question it was, what is your message to
Message to the
the
young
new,
politicians.
yes, the new breed of politicians that were recently elected? And
Mm,
you know, just a little bit of background about that. You know, I was just so nervous that I didn't know how to explain myself clearly. And again, it's hard. You don't want to disrespect anyone in what you wanted to say. You know, a lot of
mm,
people told me, oh, you should say, make sure they're not corrupt or something. But that's a bit, it's a bit harsh to say, you know, in the
yeah.
30 seconds. Siguro now, I would say my message to the new breed or young politicians is thank you for standing up for your fellow countrymen. Thank you for giving your heart and service to us. I hope that you will remain accountable, respectful, and always listen to the needs of the community in everything that you do.
Mm,
Because I truly believe that you and me together, um, we can have a great community, something like that.
mm, mm, mm. There you go. Thank you so much, Katrina, for that question.
Thank you, Kat. Miss you.
Okay. Mm. Well, Katrina is just around in Cubao, I guess. I'm not sure if she's still
Uh,
living there.
Hindi po. That's her ate po, Ate Kay. So,
Ah,
Kat is in Pampanga. She's still studying.
oh,
Yes, and she always updates me. She's always on the dean's excellence list. So, congratulations, Ate Kat.
wow. Hi, Hero. Congrats, Hannah. Good luck for
Hi,
Miss.
hero.
Ayan. And Trisha, and of course, I'm
Hi,
a big,
Trisha.
big fan ka daw niya.
Wow, I
Oh,
think of
yeah.
yours. She said she's a big fan of yours.
Of you.
Hi,
They're just our
Trisha.
they are just Trisha is just our loyalista here. So yeah, she always drops by when she has time.
Oh,
Diba?
that's lovely.
Mm. Jonald Ordinario. Oh, he's asking for a shout out. Mhm. Oh,
Ah,
Chris and Jezreel. Shout out daw for Chris and Jezreel. Hello, Chris and
okay.
Jezreel.
Hi, Jonald, Chris, and Jezreel. This is Hannah Constantino Arnold, your Binibining Filipinas International for 2021. And thank you for watching and thank you for the love and support. Stay safe always.
Wow, how sweet. Hi, Ralph Mandilor. And yeah, he's also asking for shout out from CDO.
Hi, Ralph. I hope you're safe in CDO, and I hope I can go there soon, maybe with Cinderella.
Yes. Oh, Cinderella will be here tomorrow,
Oh,
huh? At
wow,
3
that's nice.
p.m. to complete the to complete the queens actually.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yes. So, hi Marlo. Who is Marlo? But my
Marlo.
joke.
I think the question, the
Mhm.
party one. So at my
Uh-uh.
debut, my friend Marlo, it was there. So
Uh,
maybe that's why.
so he knows. Congratulations, Arvin. Diba? Question from Ralph Mandler. Which has more significance to your life? or which is more significant in your life? Now a sunrise or a sunset?
Oh, definitely a sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
It's the start of a new day. No matter what troubled me the day before, or if I had tasks to complete, with the new sunrise, it means I can achieve it that day. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about the past anymore. Just focus on the now, what I can
Mm-hmm.
offer to myself, what I can offer to my family, and actually, I'm not sure if Ralph saw this in the start of Coronation Night.
Mm-hmm.
The opening video before all of us came out on stage, it was actually of a sunrise, and
Yes.
it was the reigning queens removing their mask, because the story is that, the pandemic will soon be over, soon we will rise, like the sunrise, and we will start a brand
Mm-hmm.
new day. So I think that's left an impact on me, and I'm trying to sleep earlier and wake up earlier so I can see the sunrise.
Oh, you know what? The opening was actually became trending after the coronation. It was like Saigon, Miss Saigon.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
the
gosh.
there were memes that it was like Miss Saigon, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really nice, huh?
Mm-mm.
What are your advices to those people who's afraid to trust someone?
Well, I'm not sure exactly who this someone is to you, but maybe that's your instincts. Always trust your instincts. If you feel like um, this person maybe isn't giving you that exact safe space that you
Mm-mm.
need, then there's no need to tell them everything. But always be honest with someone else. I'm not sure exactly who you're talking about, but as long as you engage in the conversation well, where you make sure they're really listening to you and hearing what you have to say, then step by step you should be able to give your honest opinions, or maybe
Mm-mm.
you want to let something out, then do it step by step. You don't have to unravel everything onto that person, but again, just trust your instincts first. And
Mm-mm.
maybe if you want to tell someone something, start with a family member, because I'm sure you can definitely trust them.
Absolutely. All right. So, thank you so much for that, Teresa. And we have another
Yeah.
question from Nad Rivero. If you could choose, would you rather work in a lab or on a crime scene?
Ooh, thank you, Nad. So for me, I always seem to spot things that are, even though my vision isn't the best far away, I always seem to spot things. I'm a very curious person, so I will spot something that's sticking out, something that's missing. So I've always found like I would be better in a crime scene. Even when we would do mock crime scenes in university, and I absolutely loved it because I would write down everything that I could see, everything I could hear, everything I could
Mm.
smell, and I think I would be most beneficial in a team on the crime scene.
Wow. That's very, how shall I say? That's very, parang ano talaga siya eh. I forgot the term. Uh, like very observant, very keen.
Yes, yes.
Mm,
Well,
Ayun. Finally, I was able to remember it.
mm-mm.
Thank you, Ned. From Arvin, what is your advocacy and the page that you are promoting?
Yeah, so thank you, Arvin. Actually, I know that Arvin already knows this, so I'm grateful for him for asking so that those who don't know are aware.
Mm-hmm,
So I am an advocate for education, and this
mm-hmm,
started, again from a young age. That my parents always told my ate and I, when you give, you truly receive in return. So for me, when I'm giving back to the students and giving them school supplies or reading books, um, I'm getting back in return, a positive outlook for the future. I know that because the students are receiving support from me with the school supplies, and they feel motivated that someone is supporting them and their studies and their dreams, I know that we're helping the future. So
Mm-mm.
for me, I actually started a advocacy page during the pandemic last year, and that page is called Books of Tomorrow, because I'm not sure if people have heard this, but I've said it quite a lot. The way
Mm-mm.
I like to explain it is, with a book, a child can learn to read today, and with a pencil, they'll write their own future tomorrow. So
Mm-mm.
it was very easy for me to think of the page name, Books of Tomorrow. And with this page, I'm promoting the importance of reading, donating reading books to your relatives, your community, building reading hubs, and especially now that we're in the middle of Brigada Escuela, I am
Mm-mm.
going to try and collect more books and distribute it into the communities, and have more fundraisers. So
Mm-mm.
unfortunately, I have been a little busy because I am, running the page and trying to make sure it's really what I want in the community.
Mm-mm.
So I've been a little busy with interviews and trainings, but I am hoping that very soon I will have updates and more people willing to volunteer and help. Because, of course, again, most importantly, it's for our future generations.
And also, you can also put up some libraries that everyone can,
Yes.
yeah, can have access to it because
Yes, po.
that's
We
actually
actually
perfect.
Yes, we actually have three in Masbate at the moment. So the first
Oh.
one was built in my barangay,
Mm-hmm.
and because I always visit that school and I always give
Mm-hmm.
school supplies, so this time I wanted to leave something that will stay for many more years. So it's a
Oh.
very colorful reading hub, and then there's two more in other locations. So a lot more to
Mm-hmm.
come.
Yeah, that's nice, huh? Especially for the kids, they would really love if there's also a kind of
Yes.
playground around with the books. They would really love that. Coming from a teacher. Ayan. Another question. Thank you, Arvin, once again. And another question coming from Ralph. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be?
Hmm. Well, thinking about the pandemic right now, I
Mm-hmm.
think one thing we need to change is um, hmm, trying not to offend some people, but I think we need to change that mindset in some people, not everyone, but there's still some people who aren't necessarily believing that the virus exists, and
Yes, that's right.
they're not really following protocols. So I think if I really had that power, I would make sure everyone was really, wearing a mask, social distancing, doing
Mm-mm.
everything possible to really eradicate the virus. And another thing, I know it said one thing about the world, but again, connected to that, I wish that we could really get the vaccines out. I know some people don't necessarily want it. So then I wouldn't force it upon anyone, but I would make sure the vaccines are going to the communities that haven't been able to receive it and want to be vaccinated. Because as long as a majority of us are vaccinated, then it will help towards the herd immunity. So, honestly, right now, anything that would benefit us, our safety, our health, and to eradicate the virus, then that's what we truly need in the world right now.
That's right. I totally agree with that. Mhm. And of course, let's just be kind to each one as well, no?
Yes.
That's very priceless. Di ba?
Yes po.
And once again, ang sipag ni Ralph, ha? Sipag na kapagtanong. What is the biggest challenge to young people today?
I think um, today, we're more on online because we are stuck at home, everything is now online on social media. One thing that young people, including myself, is facing is, online hate or bullying or comparing ourselves to others. You know, we're forgetting to just enjoy the real world around us, to focus on the strengths that we have. We're kind of comparing ourselves to strangers on the internet. We're listening to these keyboard warriors who are,
Mm-mm.
behind the screens. We're really being consumed by what the internet has and is telling us, and we're not really doing our own thinking or own research. So
Mm-mm.
I hope that if possible, more young people will step away from the screens for a moment, maybe grab a book and just,
Mm-mm.
rest your eyes for a moment, and um, yeah, don't listen to those strangers or anything. So honestly, as much as social media has been a blessing, it has also been a challenge for some of
That's
us.
right. Mm-hmm. And I think we should be very responsible as well on using our social media.
Yes. Sorry, I'll
Mm.
quickly drink some water. So many questions from Sir Ralph.
Yeah, and he's asking for a shout out. Yeah. Mhm, mhm.
Sorry, who is
Okay,
asking?
Sir Ralph.
Ah, hi,
I
Sir
think we
Ralph.
already did a while back. Mhm.
Oh, yeah. See you in
Mhm.
CDO.
From Ping Ventura, and this is for Dindi. Of course, you know Dindi Dindi Gallardo to. Dindi Pajares, right?
Yes, po.
So, Ping Ventura is asking your message for Dindi.
Yes. So, oh my gosh. I haven't actually met Ati Dindi in person. We're both aces and queens, but our trainings were very opposite. Our paths never crossed. Although I know she's representing another organization now, but I think there's that bond from being, Bini Binis. She was a Bini Bini before. So I know that she already would have grown from that experience. And then the fact that
Uh-huh.
she had the courage to come back and join years later, she's already ready. She already knows how much I support her. I'm so proud of her for raising our flag, and I think she just needs all of our prayers. So, Dindi, just be yourself, just perform, just don't be afraid to show um, the real you, because we all know that you're a great performer, you're a great speaker. You're so beautiful in all of your pictures and your activities that you're already uploading. So, it won't be a surprise if you come back with that crown. We're already so proud of you.
All right, thank you so much. Marshall again. That's already given. That's
Mm.
already. He's saying that he wants to to represent you as the. Ano ba yan?
No, that's okay.
All right. So from Mariela Tricia Floresca, we know that you're really eyeing to win the title Binibini Pilipinas International 2021. Aside from that, what is the best thing that ever happened to you?
Wow. Well, hello. I actually call her Trisha, Trisha Lang. So hi, Trisha.
Uh,
Thank you for watching.
mhm,
Um, actually, that's a hard question because really that's what I've always been dreaming of for the past few years, or even when I was younger. I was already a beauty queen when I was 6. So the other best thing that ever happened to me, I I guess it would just be all the time that I've had with family and friends,
mm-mm,
especially now that this pandemic and the lockdowns really showed us that life is short, that
mm-mm,
anything can happen and we can be put back into ECQ just like that. I
mm-mm,
now looking back at it, all that time that I spent at home with my parents, out with friends, out with fans and Hanabis. Um, those are the moments that I will never forget, and they're really the best thing. The people in my life are the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm very grateful that I was able to go be with my parents last year. And yeah, really, um, I think everyone should just appreciate those people around them that are willing to listen, willing to support them, and that's really the best that we can all have.
Absolutely. No, it's actually a some, how shall I say, a kind of reflection or recollection to everyone, no? To um to live life with kindness na lang, because
Yes.
we never know how the world will end, or how we are going to end in the world,
Yes,
diba?
exactly. Very well
Mhm.
said.
Thank you.
You're ready
Thank
for
you,
your
Queen.
pageant.
All right. We have a question from, thank you so much, Marielle, or Trisha rather. Jonal the Ordinario. How do you prepare on your pasarela for Miss International journey?
Yeah, so I'll give another. I think he added one more name to his shout out because
Mhm.
before there was just three of them. So hi, Melvin. Now there's a new name, I think. So really all of us, not only me preparing for Miss International, but all the Binibinis, all of the Miss World candidates, the MUP candidates, Miss Earth. Um, it's been difficult, honestly, to train for Passerella because for Q&A we can still utilize Zoom, although it's not face to face. We still can just sit down and talk, whereas
Mhm.
Passerella, it is hard to train virtually, honestly. um, what I have been doing, what I did before coronation night, is I would find a space, a hallway, or the space here in near my house, and I would make sure I film myself walking and do the poses that my passerella trainer Ian had given me. And then I would film that and send it to him. And then he would send back either a video of himself doing it, or he would just edit parts of it or screen capture and tell me, okay, this is what you have to do here and here. So it was quite difficult this year. I know I'm not alone in that. So right now that we are in ECQ again, obviously I can't have those face-to-face passerella trainings,
Mhm.
but we have secured a studio booking. As soon as ECQ is done, we're going to go back into the studio, and I know that I have a lot to improve on, but
Mhm.
really I want to thank him because I'm not sure if everyone saw on the coronation night, but I, had a little bit of a stumble. But what Ian had always taught me in my trainings was just keep on going, keep on smiling, because if you show that in your face, then the judges and audience are going to notice. And because of those words and because of what he taught us, that it's the whole body, it's not just your walk or your feet, that really helped me pick myself up on that night
Mhm.
during the evening gown segment. And I hope that I
Mhm.
hope nothing like that happens in Miss International, but because of his passerella trainings, I think I'll be able to pick myself up no matter what happens. So,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't really answer the exact question of how is my passerella training, but
Yeah, you did.
just
You did.
okay.
It's all online right now. So yeah, it's, you just mentioned that it was really difficult. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yes, I noticed what happened during the the evening gown competition.
Yes.
But you did very well, huh? You did very well. It was not really noticeable. Yeah. It was really nice.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay. Mhm. You're welcome. And we have a question from Luis Bourbon. Queen Bee, what is your ideal man in life? Watching from
Wow.
New Zealand.
Well, hi Louise. I hope you're safe in New Zealand. I know that over there they're doing quite well. I was talking with Miss New Zealand in our group chat and she seems to be quite safe there. So I'm glad that you're safe. Um for an ideal man, honestly, just someone who is family oriented.
Mm-mm,
Um someone, they don't necessarily have to be Filipino, but someone who will understand the Filipino culture and will love to come to all the parties, will love to eat all of the food, and will, get along with everyone in my family. Honestly, there's nothing else I can pick at,
mm-mm,
just as long as they're gonna love not only me, but the family also.
mm-hmm.
So if you're
Ayon.
watching, hi, Jar.
As long as the man is family oriented. So,
Yes po.
yon, 'di ba? I think I have a brother. Joke. No, I have a nephew pala. Ganun. Ralph Mandler, if you if you are given a chance to answer the question given to or asked to Cinderella Faye in Binibini Pilipinas, how would you answer it? I have the question here with me.
Actually, yes, I was about to say I don't really know what it was exactly.
Do you want me to read the question?
Yes, please, po. I'll just have some
So
water.
yeah, so it's from Michael Cinco. How important are luxury or let me repeat, how important are luxury items like bags, clothes, and jewelries for a woman when the national economy is down and struggling?
Hmm. Well, honestly, I think no one can really top Cinderella's answer. She really
Mm-mm,
nailed every aspect of it. Um, she really already gave such an important message.
mm-mm,
And honestly, if I was given that question, it's hard once you've heard it a few times and you've heard someone else's answer. So I don't know how I would have answered that night exactly, but
mm-mm,
um it would be like, similar that for me being a woman myself, I have not found that it is necessary to be buying luxury items at this time. I prefer to be buying goods that will benefit the whole community, not only myself. However, if there is a woman or a man who feels like something that will bring them joy in this darkness is a handbag or artwork, then we should not criticize them if it's, as long as they are also giving back to the community,
mm-mm.
then then
Yeah.
um mahirap trying to find the words. Um I really need more than 30 seconds for that. um
It's really tough, no?
yes, because I really don't want to offend, because there's so many people I know that have bought
Mm-mm,
luxury items during the pandemic, but they have also still been looking out for the community, and it
mm-mm,
was their hard work that got them that. They
mm-mm.
deserve to treat themselves also.
That's right. Mm-hmm,
um but again, for me, I wouldn't be one of those people. But yeah, again, it's hard, but I think Cinderella just answered it so perfectly. She didn't offend anyone, she just
mm-mm,
really gave a call for action that we need to be putting that money somewhere else. And what did she say?
mm-mm,
If afflict the I can't remember the exact word she used, but she just had so many statements that were just so powerful. So
absolutely.
mm.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And oh, he. He has many questions. What's beauty? Oh, what's happening to the internet? What's beauty if the brain is empty? Expound your ideas. Oh my God. Hmm.
What's beauty if the brain is empty? I guess
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of similar to the question that has been asked in the past. If you would rather
Mm-hmm.
be beautiful
Beautiful or smart?
or smart or not so beautiful. And
Yes.
when I've heard that question, I always choose the to be beautiful, because
Mm-hmm.
beauty isn't just that exterior, it's the inside, it's the way that you are kind to others, it's the way that you allow them to speak and then you listen to them, it's your
Mm-hmm.
compassion and your helping hand for the community. And with your brain, honestly, we're born with no knowledge, but
That's right.
we learn from our family, we learn from
Mm-mm.
reading books and from what we see in the society. So as long as
Mm-mm.
you're willing to learn and absorb
Mm-mm.
thoughts and everything, and then make your own opinions, then I think beauty is still quite important, because again, it's the heart, the beauty from within. So
Mm-mm.
what's so the question, what's beauty if the brain is empty? I think
Mm-hmm.
it's still important. Yeah.
Yes, I think.
Let
Yeah,
me.
I definitely agree with you. You were correct actually a while ago when you said that we were born without knowledge at all, because we were that's actually tabula rasa, right? So we were in taboo, so we learn something while we grow up, and what we have when we were born, it's basically our initial beauty, 'di ba? Though everyone is born to be good, 'di ba? So
Yes.
there's already an inner beauty inside us that's already innate.
Yes,
'Di
Bob.
ba? Mm-mm. All right, so excited for our dear Cindy Obenita for tomorrow's guesting. Yes, at 3 p.m. So it's a
Yes.
different time slot. Mark Shaw. Mark Shaw is flooding me with a question. What's the job of a sleep scientist?
Yes, so for those who are unaware, there is unfortunately a health problem that many people face, especially during this pandemic. It was brought about a lot more. So it's called sleep apnea. There are many different stages of it, many different severities of it. So basically, it's when someone in their sleep is unfortunately not breathing and the oxygen isn't going to their brain anymore, which can be
Oh.
quite harmful. And especially if it goes unrecognized, it can cause serious health damage to other organs and especially your brain. And that's why some people actually can't sleep throughout the night. They wake up and they're choking on their own breath, or they
Mm-mm.
wake up super unrefreshed, or they actually fall asleep during the day, which is quite dangerous for drivers, truck drivers, teachers. I know that it's not really common here, but definitely there in Canberra, where I was working, so many people suddenly realized that their sleep was severely affected. So for
Mm-mm.
me, there was times where I would um, discuss with the patient, because they also don't know what sleep apnea is. So I would be the one in my office to explain to them what's happening to their body, and then I would also be the one to set them up with all of the equipment. The patients actually had to stay overnight so that we could monitor them. Um, and then from there, we're able to see the brain wavelengths, the way their body is
Mm.
moving, even their oxygen levels, snoring, body movements. There's so many things that they're unaware of, especially if they don't have a bed partner or other people in the house. So I would be the one to set them up. They had so many wires everywhere, and then we would watch them sleep, and then I was also a part of their treatment process. So after that they go back to the sleep physician, and together as a whole team we make sure we provide the best treatment, which sometimes isn't just prescription, it's really a device that they had to have which would help them open their airways throughout the night.
Mm-mm.
It's a really complex thing, and I'm just so grateful that I was working there for, I think it was 6 months. So I was able to see the progress of so many patients, and they were honestly feeling so much better. And I just felt so great that I was able to be a part of that and that they're healthier
Mm-mm.
now.
So how are you doing now? Are you doing online for that, or like work from home?
Actually, no, because you really have to be there in the clinic. So,
Mm-mm.
that's why, sorry, excuse me. That's why earlier this year, when Bini Bini was announced, I actually
Mm-mm.
had to make that decision if I was going to continue science and maybe move on to respiratory studies, or, further studies with my forensics, or if I was going to join the pageant. And that's really when I prayed, and my answer was given to me in a plane ticket, and I came back to the Philippines. So that's why I actually had to resign from my job. So I have had to give up that for the past few months this year. But now with this platform I have as a beauty queen and everyone willing to listen to me, I'm going to try work in science related fields here and with the Department of Science and Technology and with science students, but I myself am not a practicing scientist at this moment po.
Mm-mm. Wow, that's nice, huh? So right
Yes.
after your reign, perhaps you can definitely continue that kind of
Continue,
work.
yes po.
Mm-mm. My God, that's very impressive. Actually, I have a friend who also had that
Sleep apnea.
apparatus.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's part of
This.
sleep apnea because um, he has a problem on sleeping, on snoring. I
Mm-mm.
mean, so he had that apparatus on on his mouth rather. So whenever he sleeps, he's always with that.
Yes, the CPAP
Mm,
machine.
mm,
Yes.
yeah, and I also have a problem on sleeping. So
Oh
I think
no.
I have that. Yeah,
Oh
like I
my
don't
gosh. If
feel like refreshed. Like I don't feel refreshed,
yes.
and energized when I wake up. So I think
Oh
those are the
no.
symptoms already.
Yes, possibly po. So it's very good to discuss with your
Mm-mm.
doctor. If only I had all the equipment here, but I don't.
Hopefully I can be able to fix my sleeping or my body system. Hopefully,
Yes.
yeah. So I have to go back to work out, I guess, because I think that could help.
Yes, actually, possibly. That's one of the things that the sleep physicians, respiratory physicians, and sleep scientists we do recommend that, and
Mm-mm.
especially sometimes it helps tire you. By the time
Uh,
you go to sleep, you're already quite tired. So hopefully you
yes.
stay asleep.
Yeah, tama nga, 'di ba? So I have to make myself very tired, and then yeah, after after my shower, then I could definitely sleep so well. Yeah. Hmm. What? Oh, this was already asked. Thank you so much, Mark Shao. And Mark Shao is asking, do you believe in this saying? It's better to cheat than to repeat.
Oh, actually, I've never heard that saying
Me
before.
too. Actually, what I know, it's better to repeat than to cheat.
Yes, I was about to say that. And I am an example of that. I repeated my pageant journey, and so have
Mm-mm.
so many other girls. It's not a sign of failure at all. It just means that you learned your lesson, and this
Yeah.
time you're winning. It's better to win honestly and um yeah,
Mm-mm.
faithfully than to cheat. I don't recommend cheating.
That's right. Mm-mm, diba? Hmm. Ralph Mandylor once again. Who do you think is your big threat during Binibining Pilipinas?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, it was always Ati Vicky
Ate Vicky.
earlier this year. Not that she was a threat, but that I was believing in her also because she had a lot of strengths and things to give back to the international stage.
Mm-mm.
On the night of coronation, there were definitely so many girls that weren't even in the top 13, unfortunately, and they would have been amazing if they were given
The chance, yeah.
yes,
Mm-mm.
that chance to perform, that chance to speak. Really, everyone grew so much because of the pandemic lockdown,
Mm-mm.
and I really hope that everyone watching, pageant fans, I hope that they continue to follow those girls. You know, even if they don't have a crown, they still have so much to give and to say. So definitely follow them still on social media. Maybe they'll come back also. And
Mm-mm.
I know that they will come back stronger from this. And again,
Mm-mm.
I'm just so grateful to Bini Bini Pilipinas for allowing me to have that stage, to have this title, and to go represent the Philippines. I hope that I can make all of those girls proud also.
Yes. Yeah, actually your batch is actually one of the best batches ever. Yeah. The,
Yes.
so there are so many um how shall I say there are so many potentials. Mhm. So
Yes,
everyone is
well,
definitely deserving of winning as well. No? Mm-mm.
definitely.
Ayun. So we have a question from Arvin. Okay, on the pageant night, what part of the competition are you excited about?
Um, I'm not sure if he means Bini
The,
Bini
I think
or
this is
this
for
one.
the international.
Um, hmm. On the pageant night itself,
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know, because I've really been a fan of Miss International. I've watched it. You know, it really does go for so many hours. But I will sit there. I will watch it all. And what I like about it is that they really give so many girls that stage to show their national costume, the swimsuit, the evening gown. They don't really cut it off just quite they don't cut it off early on. They still allow a lot of girls to walk first before the speeches. So I think I'm honestly just excited to wear that sash and wear my costume on that stage, wear that swimsuit because I'll be wearing beautiful creations of Filipino designers. So
Mm-mm.
honestly, they I'm more excited that I'm representing more people than just myself.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it also hasn't really sunk in yet that I'm actually going. I'm still waiting for the details, and then I'll
Yeah.
yes. Let's see.
You will definitely be updated later, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so question from Jerdy. How do you stay up to date with the trends and discoveries in forensic science? Oh my god.
um. Well, for me, I was very lucky that the university I studied in, they had a lot of clubs, science clubs, forensic clubs, and I'm still a part of those on Facebook. So I still see articles that they're sharing, discoveries, research of other people, PhD students, um, people around the world. So sometimes I see those articles. Obviously, while I was preparing for Bini Bini, I wasn't able to read as much. But for example, even one of my friends that I graduated with, she decided to continue her studies and she's
Mm-mm.
now studying for a PhD. And so I'm really watching all of her progress. her like thesis, everything that she's been presenting. I've just been following her journey in particular, but I know that there's so many things being discovered all around the world, and that actually gave me a plan. Maybe tomorrow I will look at more articles and everything, and read
Mm-mm.
research papers. That would be nice. But at the moment, I'm a little behind on the trends.
Yeah. So at least this is a good reminder.
Yes.
So would you still be pursuing your further studies like masters and PhD eventually?
Actually, when I graduated, well, before I graduated in 2017, the professor that I was working closely with, because I was in his chirality team in one of the labs there in university, I was working closely with the master's students, the PhD students, and my professor offered. He really encouraged me to do my master's and to also work in his other research lab. But
Mm-mm.
that time, because I was just about to graduate, I had already made my plans that I would be moving to the Philippines.
Mm-mm.
Because my plan always was to move here, but my parents made me promise that I would graduate first before I did.
Uh,
And of course, as soon as I graduate, it's not that easy to just move here. I really had to keep on working and save. So after I graduated in 2017, I already had that decision that I told the professor, I'm sorry, I already am moving, maybe in the future. And then I really worked in other jobs, other community related jobs. And then I moved here. And then now that everything's worked out as it has, I'm not
mm-mm.
too sure if I will be able to go back into that. I feel like now that I have this platform, I don't want to be locked away in the lab. Or, because when it comes to masters or PhD, especially in science, you're focusing
Mm-mm.
on, on one aspect. You're in the lab. It's not just a 9 to 5. You have to be there overnight, sometimes super early, depending on what's happening with your reaction, with your machine. You have to work your way around that. So I'm not sure it would be that easy if I'm busy, doing other things
Mm-mm.
as a former queen or as a reigning
Mm-mm.
queen.
Mm-mm.
Um, I'm not too sure, but let's see. Maybe in a few more years, but not immediately just yet.
Yeah, all right, diba? So, oh, by the way, let me just ask Hannah, would this also be a prerequisite or a pre-med course? Would that also be considered as a pre-med course for medicine?
Actually, no. Well, not in my university that I went to. Everything is quite specific of what
Uh,
you're wanting to go to. Maybe here in the Philippines, their forensics can lead to other things. Honestly, I had the anatomy, biology classes, and that would overlap with some of the pre med things, but I think you really have to be specific in the course and degree you take up. So for me, it would really just be the science, the forensics part of it.
I'm not sure if forensic is offered here in the Philippines even either.
There have been some people that have messaged me ever since 2019 when I was announced as a forensic science graduate, and they would share to me that they were also studying it or they wanted to. And I saw there are some schools here that
Schools
do
or
offer it.
universities.
Yes.
That's nice, huh? I've never heard of it yet. Okay, maybe because it's not just my interest. So I was never looking for it.
Yeah.
Anyways, from Arvin, what book would you recommend to us, and what is your favorite book?
Well, I was just looking for my book. There's one that I've really recommended this whole year because I bought it. Well, my sister, my ate, gave it to me for my birthday in January. So the whole year I've been reading this. It's called The Daily Stoic, and every day on a particular day, it will have a stoic. It will have a quote, and then it will explain to you what you have to reflect on or change or prioritize for that day. And honestly, it's helped me. Either it's freakishly correct with what's happening in my life, or I make it relevant to what my day is going to be like. So definitely the Daily Stoic I would recommend. And then my favorite book is The Little Prince. I think that's just a beautiful story that has been translated into so many different languages. So I think everyone around the world should be able to find a copy of that. And the it's a quite a small story, it doesn't, if you're not really a reader, I think you can finish it quite quickly. There's a really beautiful message in it. So again, I would recommend The Daily Stoic, and then my favorite book is The Little Prince.
Ayun. Daily Stoic is more of philosophical, right? Because Stoic are
Yes.
normally, yeah. So it's a, how shall I say, philosophical school. Stoic is a philosophical school, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so the way that it's worded, it's so easy to understand. So again,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not really a reader, I think anyone can appreciate it. The words
Mm-hmm.
aren't too yeah, aren't too they don't make you think too much. It's quite clear
Mm-hmm.
in what's written there.
Because they're very practical. Yeah.
Yes.
Ayun. Thank you so much. Yeah. So there you go. Let's have another from Ralph Mandler. Kisses Delevine and you are both from Masbate. What advice can you give to her in the Miss Universe Philippines finals?
Yes, so actually, I have been communicating with Kisses through social media because
Mm,
we are, like you said, we're both from Masbate and we're both from Aces and Queens. So I haven't actually met her in person again because of protocols and everything, and we have different training sessions. But I have been messaging her, and really, I think she knows already how to filter what to listen to, because as a celebrity, as someone with a big following and fan base, I'm sure she's already experienced constructive criticisms, difference in opinions, and especially when it comes to pageantry, which she has also joined before. She's already aware of what to listen to and what to improve on. She really
mm,
is a pageant girl. Although some people are seeing her as just a celebrity that's joining, she's always had a strong opinion, a strong message, um, a beautiful presence on stage. So I think if we just give her that chance, then um, we will see that if she um, will win. I'm not sure when MUP will be held, but I think we will see that on that stage. So what I've told her, I can't remember exactly, but we have been communicating, and I'm just so glad that she is appreciating nature at the moment. She she's in Masbate at the moment, and she told me that she's just enjoying the nature and reflecting, and I think that's definitely important right now. So I'm glad she's doing that before things get too busy.
ayun. Thank you so much. So they are in contact. So definitely advices will be sent, right?
Yeah, and
All right.
prayers.
Of course, that's really very important. All right, so we have a question from Mariel Tricia Floresca. Along your journey to win the Binibining Pilipinas International, what was your favorite part of it as a candidate and as an inspiration to your Hanabis?
Sorry, my throat is getting so many
That's right.
questions.
Yeah.
um, Yes,
Yeah.
so just like the other question that I said, one of the my favorite parts or the best parts of this journey has always been having family and friends around me.
Mm-mm.
And when you join Binibining Pilipinas, you make a new family with the candidates, with the staff, For those who don't know, there is a whole lot of people behind the stage. You know, it's not just of course, we have our glam teams that help us, but there's the people of Bini Bini, BPCI, the Kuya Black Boys, Kuya Jun, Kuya JR, Kuya Ricky, the Ati Lady Guards, Ati Jen, Ati Rose. You know, they make it a family, and that's what I looked forward to every day when we would have an activity. As soon as you walk through the door, everyone is so welcoming. They they do the temperature check, but then they also, you know, greet you with such a welcoming smile. And that's why in 2019 I really felt that saying, once a Bini Bini, always a Bini Bini. And that's why I wanted to return, because the people there, they make it a family. And honestly, I miss them. Obviously, I'm still with Bini Bini now, but it's different when you're a candidate, because you see all those people every day. And of
Mm-mm.
course, the friendships with the candidates themselves. We were the longest batch. Our candidacy was a year and a half. So I became friends with, you know, all of the 39 other girls, because there was 40 of us to begin with. And seeing how much we've all grown, that's been my favorite part, seeing that we've all come out of this stronger. There was relevance to the pageant during this pandemic. And I hope that the Hanabis that were with me, I hope that they are inspired to not give up. Just like the other question before, is it better to cheat rather than repeat? No, it's better to repeat. So for the Hanabis, if you feel like something's not working out for you right now, don't give up, because you know, again, that time will come.
Mm-mm. See? Very inspiring for Hanabis, ha? Ganyan talaga dapat ang mga pinapadala natin na panlaban sa mga international pageant. Beauty and brains talaga. Oh,
Thank you. And
diba?
thank you, everyone. I just realized it's almost been 2 hours. So thank you, everyone,
Yeah,
for staying with us.
that's right. And there are a lot of questions ba? Out of topic question, Miss Hannah, since you're from Australia, do you know Paul Bennett? I really love and adore him. He is the one who polarizes the song Forevermore. I haven't heard any updates come from him.
Oh,
They're good friends.
hmm. I don't know him personally, but I do know that song, and it's a beautiful one that's always played at, you know, karaoke or in teleseries or
Yeah,
on the radio. It's nice. I miss those type of old school songs. But sorry, I
that's right.
don't know Paul Bennett. I'm not sure where he is right now.
Haha, si Ralph talaga, oo. And he's asking again, napuntahan mo na ba yung Palm Beach sa Sydney, Australia? Maganda ba siya?
I haven't been to Palm Beach, but the beaches there are also just as beautiful as the beaches here.
Mm-mm. All right. So, one question from Danielle Bernardo. Why did you choose to join pageants in the Philippines instead Australia?
Yes, so just like I have mentioned in other interviews also, I actually did my first pageant here in 2002. So I was 6 years old, and I was baby queen of San Fernando Masbate. And
Mm,
for, you know, for someone that young, um, it was a new thing for me to be introduced to, but I felt so much love because of the community spirit, the fiesta, my relatives. And I never knew anything about pageantry before that. It wasn't really celebrated in Australia. You don't really see younger kids doing it. So I think
mm,
from that moment on, I already knew in my heart that pageantry was for me. And I actually did join in Australia. I joined Miss Philippines Australia.
mm,
So that one was back in 2014, and I won the title of Charity Queen. And with that, I was able to come here in the Philippines for a courtesy tour. So I came with Miss Glyza Perez. So she was in Miss World Philippines before, and
Mm-mm,
we were introduced to the beauty of pageantry, that you're giving back to the community.
mm-mm,
We went to orphanages, we gave scholarships to students, and we attended, the variety TV shows. But we also had meetings with mayors and even the vice president that time. And that is when I saw the power of pageantry. Again, I had no idea about pageantry because it wasn't shown in Australia. It was only here in the Philippines that I saw it. So I
mm-hmm.
felt like I want to continue this, and why not do it here in the Philippines if my heart is truly Filipino, if I think I can be of great assistance here, and if I can become a better woman whilst joining it and a better Filipina, then why not join here? So really, it all worked out that I was able to move here like I always wanted to, and I was able to chase my dreams. So I'm just so grateful that everyone has been supportive of that decision.
Wow, that's great. And it's just my first time to hear or to learn that you were with Glyza, right? And
Yes.
so you together during the pageant in Australia as well?
Yes, so we both joined
Oh,
Miss Philippines Australia in
uh,
2014.
uh,
There was only, I think there was about 10 of us candidates, and Glyza won Miss Philippines Australia, and then I was Charity Queen. So the two title holders, so the two of us, we really had so many activities together. We became real pageant sisters. That was the first time I experienced a pageant sister, because we had a lot of duties there in the Filipino community in Australia. We lived in two different cities, but we really kept in contact. And then when we both came here in the Philippines for that courtesy tour, we both knew we wanted to come here and compete again. And actually, um, some trivia is when I moved here in 2018, of course, I have my cousins, my relatives, everyone who's known me since I was younger. But the friend that I had, it was only Glyza. She was my only friend that I had in 2018, and she was just about to compete in Miss World Philippines. So, or
in
maybe she was
2017.
2017. So in
Uh,
2018, she handed over her crown, and I went and watched her there. And um, yeah, she's just been so supportive because she arrived here before me. So I was able to have so many tips from her, some guidance, and um, really she helped me a lot when I first moved here. And she's been so supportive. She always replies to my stories. She always messages me. And sayang though that she wasn't given an opportunity to represent the Philippines and compete overseas. She truly
that's right.
has she has an amazing walk and voice,
Mm.
and but she's still being a great role model right now.
Yeah, I do believe so. She's actually in Australia right now, right?
Yes,
Mm-mm.
yes, with her
And she's doing
family.
very well. Yeah. All
Yes.
right. So we have a question coming from Dandy Jan Estrera, all the way from Cebu. He's also a Q&A mentor. Hi.
Mm.
Yes. Hi, Dandy. So he's asking what interests you about the life, about the Little Prince.
Yes, so actually, when I was younger, I think it was a book that everyone was talking about already. So of
Mm-mm,
course I wanted to know what they liked about it. But then
mm-mm,
when I read it, for those who haven't read it, I don't want to give away this story too much. But for example, the little prince, he goes on a journey, and he really discovers so many things in the journey that makes him or makes the reader realize that sometimes you have to be grateful for what you already
mm-mm,
have. And some people are a little some of the people that he meets along the way are too focused on certain aspects that they're not seeing the bigger picture. And I think the little prince really learned so much on that journey, on that time spent. And that's the most important part when it comes to uh, following your dreams. Instead of just looking for that final moment or that final crowning moment or something, focus on the journey and all the blessings that you already have along that way.
Mm-mm. I think that's the one thing that everyone should learn, should know about everyone's journey as well. No, because it is not all about where you headed to, but the journey that you had basically that's more inspiring. Diba?
Yes.
Mhm. And thank you so much, Dandy. And yeah, pa-shoutout daw kay Paul Andre Dose Buenavida. Buenavenida
Hi.
pala. Mm.
Hi, Paul. Buenvenida.
Buenvenida.
Paul Buenvenida. Thanks for watching.
Mm-mm. And he has three questions. First one, do beauty pageants help or hurt society views women?
Wait, sorry. Do beauty pageants help or hurt? Um, honestly, pageantry has changed so much
That's right.
now. Before, I think people were a little close-minded, that they thought we were comparing women, that we were women, that we were competing against each other, that there was a specific way to look, and that we weren't being real feminist, something like that. But if you really watch pageantry now, I think people will realize that there's so much diversity in the
Mm-mm.
women that are being shown. Um, we are showing the bodies that we worked hard for. We are showing our speaking abilities. We are showing the different backgrounds, and I don't
Mm-mm.
think that's hurting society at all. Instead, it's inspiring the younger generations that are watching that we can balance so many things in our life. We can be a beauty queen. We can be a scientist. We can be business owners. We can be anything, and um, as long as you have that confidence and you are willing to stand up there and speak, then you can do it. So honestly, I kind of get sad that people are still asking that question and asking what's the relevance of pageantry and everything, because honestly
Yes,
it's changed so much. I think these people just need to sit down and watch
that's
and
right.
listen.
Mhm. And there are many, to be honest, actually, there are many feminists that are joining pageants already. Yes, so we
Yes.
are actually moving forward on the change, on the change, on the evolution, on pageantry today.
Yes, Paul.
Okay, so thank you so much, Paul, for that question. And we have another question from Paul, Paul Andre Dose Buenvenida. If you could change one thing in the past, what would it be?
Sorry, I needed some water.
That's
Um,
fine. Mhm.
as cliche as it sounds, when someone says they wouldn't change anything, that's honestly the same for me. I wouldn't change anything in the past because, maybe before people are saying I could have changed my answer back in 2019, but I don't think it would have made a difference. I think it really wasn't my time back then. Um, because of those lessons that I had to learn, because of those uh, challenges I had to overcome, those sacrifices I had to make, those shaped me to be the woman I am today. And I
Mhm.
wouldn't be here sharing my story if all of those things didn't happen to me. I wouldn't have this same confidence or this same platform. So
Mhm.
honestly, there's nothing. Honestly,
That you would like to change, no? Yeah, because
no.
what actually who you are right now is basically due to the past that you have had, diba?
Yes. Or
Mm-mm.
maybe there's one thing that I wouldn't change, but I wish that I did. It would probably just be saying thank you more to my parents, or I love you more,
Mm-mm.
because when we're younger we think that they're just there to ruin our teenage lives, that they don't want us going out, or they're just jealous that we have friends or something.
Nagging, yeah.
So for me, I didn't understand that, but then again, moving back home under their roof last year, I watched them more closely. I listened to them more, and I realized that everything they taught me was right, was correct, and
Mm-mm.
it was what I really needed and should have listened to. So probably just more so in saying thank you to them and listening to them. But anything else, I'm glad it happened to me.
All right. Great. So, one last question from Paul. What is that something you've done that you will never do again?
Um,
I think this is just the same.
I'm trying to think. I guess again in other words,
Mm-mm.
something that you've done that you will never do again. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've ever eaten or anything I've done that I don't want again. Or maybe literally, there may be times where I was in a bad mood and I went out in public, and like
Mm-mm.
pre pandemic times when people could see your smile, and maybe I was in a bad mood so I didn't smile at someone, but now I realize a simple smile, a simple hello to a stranger or a neighbor, it can really make all the difference. So instead of going out and bringing that negativity out there, I'm going to make sure that I step out, leave all my worries, in my bedroom, leave that in the house. And then when I go out, just be positive and radiate that onto other people.
Wow. You know, it's nice to hear that from you. That it's kind of learning that you have throughout, 'di ba? Something that you have reflected on, something that you have really
Yes.
discerned, 'di ba? Thank you so much for that, Hannah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you to Paul for asking.
And already late, but you're still beautiful, Queen. Yeah, she's still beautiful. If I can just keep her all throughout the night. Now, guys, when we return, so we'll have a short break. When we return, we'll definitely talk a little about her advocacy, because she already told us a glimpse of her advocacy a while ago. So we will definitely get to know more of that in a while. So please stay tuned, guys, and all of that when we return in a short break. All right, we are back. So, Hannah, you mentioned already about your advocacy. So, just give us more details, or yeah, more information about it. And then after which we will play the game.
Yes. So, for those who weren't tuned in already earlier or are unaware of what I advocate for, I am an advocate for education because I myself was very blessed and privileged to have, quality access to education. It was never a stressful thing for me, worrying if I would be able to go there or if I had enough school supplies. However, the stories I heard of relatives, of my mom, of cousins, I saw the struggles that they faced. And my parents instilled in me and my ate that, we need to give back. And so
Mm-mm.
from a young age, we were always thinking about those younger generations, whether it was in an orphanage that we would visit or it was in the community of our barangay in Masbate. We wanted to give back, and we felt that the most powerful way to give back and think about the future and um, the hope for the whole nation is to give back with their education. So to give school supplies because they will really feel motivated. For me, for example, if someone were to give me a gift, I feel more motivated to go after that dream. As a Bini Bini candidate, someone would give me a letter or an artwork, and I would feel like, wow, someone's rooting for me. So if I
Mm-mm.
give a book or a pencil to a student, they will feel that, their
The
studies
same
matter.
way. Yeah.
Yes. They will feel that someone wants them to finish their studies, that they too deserve to graduate and have whatever career they can dream of.
Mm-mm.
Um, Especially now during this pandemic, not everyone has access to online learning, the resources, the gadgets. I'm very lucky that I have this laptop now to do this interview, but not everyone has that. And especially in the far flung communities, the progress that we've made with education, it's unfortunately been reversed. We're going so many steps backwards. So for me, I started this page, Books of Tomorrow, because I wanted to encourage more people to simply give a reading book that they no longer want to read, give it to a neighbor, give it to a relative, give it to a community in need, because within those pages of the book, a child is going to be inspired. They're going to go on an adventure while they
Mm-mm.
have to physically stay at home. And history has always shown us the power of reading and books and the knowledge that we can have from it. So I really want more people to donate books, help me with building more reading hubs around the country. And I know that some people originally, whenever a new beauty candidate comes comes out with their advocacy, some people say, "Oh, another education advocacy." And yes, we are advocating again for education because it's still an issue. It's still something that needs help and needs our
Mm-mm.
priority. So um, yes, I am another advocate for education, and I'm proud to be because I truly think these students deserve this hope with their studies.
Mhm. And Hannah, just one question regarding this. Um, do you believe then that education could be a tool to alleviate poverty in the Philippines?
Yes, but
Mm-mm.
definitely if it's a ripple effect.
Mm-mm.
A child who is focused on their studies, who is focused on graduating, is focused on the career that they can pursue, is focused on what they can provide for their family with this, then it already eradicates so many other things like possible crimes or like more poverty, and honestly, simply having another student graduate, it's already a positive for the community.
Mm-mm.
It just means that another person is aware of, because of course, when they're studying, they're made more aware of current issues, of our culture, of how to respect others. So really, with the education, they're becoming better members of society, and it's really going to help all of us.
That's right. Okay, so let's proceed, my dear, my queen. you've you've already mentioned so much about it earlier, so yeah. Which one would you prefer? Do you want to do fast talk or just this game? Can you
um,
see that?
I can't see anything yet, but
Mhm. So it's pick a box.
and okay, so I just
Mm-hmm.
pick any number.
Yes, so I'll be asking you to pick at least three, one after the other. Okay, and then because each of these box has a corresponding word, it could be
Mm.
it could be in a form of fast talk, like you make a show that you can choose, and then that's it, and or it could be a topic that you can make a comment on or
Oh,
give your
okay.
opinion. Which one would you
Um,
like? Fast talk or this one?
maybe fast
Fast talk na
talk.
lang.
I'm worried what's behind the box.
Sige, sige. Let's do fast talk na lang.
Okay po.
Ayun. So, are you ready?
Yes po.
Sige po. Long or short?
I'm thinking long.
Mm-hmm. Dress or jeans?
Jeans, jag jeans.
Phone or desktop?
Phone.
Morning or evening?
Morning. Sunrise.
Sunrise or sunset? Yeah. Oh,
Sunrise.
sunrise. Heels or sneakers?
Ooh, sneakers. Road
Mm-hmm.
balance. Wow, promo.
World Balance, yeah. World Balance, please do also sponsor us. Okay. Handbags or backpacks?
Backpacks.
World Balance also. Indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
Mm-hmm. Instant or homemade food?
Oh, homemade.
Of course. Lights
Mm-mm.
on or lights off?
Lights on so that I can read.
Love or money?
Love.
Singing or dancing?
Dancing.
Guilty pleasures?
Oh, right. I thought there was another chocolate.
Wow. Favorite local actor?
Oh, actor Jericho Rosales.
Oh, complete the sentence. I am Hannah Arnold and I am
I am Hannah Arnold and I am our seventh Filipina to win Miss International.
perfect. Diba? Ayun.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh my God, there's another question that came in. Is it okay? Just one last question.
Okay po.
Sige. How can you support LGBTQ people without getting issue about your own sexual orientation?
Hmm. Um, let's see. Well, first and foremost, I am an ally of the LGBTQIA plus community. I have never been afraid to show my support to them, especially during Pride Month. Every month, they really need our voice, especially when their voice is unfortunately still not being heard by many. For those who are scared to support without getting into an issue of their own sexual orientation or preferences or identity. Sorry, I have hiccups now. Um, then I think you can show your support simply. The first step could be using the correct pronouns. I think
Mm-mm.
that's something that shows so much respect,
Mm-mm.
asking someone what their pronouns should,
That's right.
what they would like to be known as, he, she,
They.
him, her, they, them. Yes,
Mm-mm.
some of us just assume, and that can dishearten them. So if you're worried about being vocal about showing your support on social media, you don't need to do that. You don't need to post about it on social media that you're an ally. You simply can just speak to someone in that community and ask them for their pronouns. I think that's something that we are trying um, normalized now, especially in
Mm-mm.
schools, especially with our younger generations. I think that's the best step right now.
Perfect. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that because just by addressing them the right pronoun, that would definitely make them feel good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And sample of Dancing Queen daw.
Maybe rewatch the opening number because
That's right.
it's our 1 month today since
Mhm.
coronation night.
Oh yeah, oo nga pala. It's 1 month today, August 11.
Yes.
Hmm. I love you, Hannah. Ayan.
Thank you.
Another question from from Paul. How would you defend LGBTQ person if he, she, or they are discriminated in front of you? So just one last question na Paul ha.
Well, like I said, I've always been a proud ally. So I'm not going to hesitate to stand up to someone, whether it's on social media or in person. If someone in the LGBTQIA plus community is being discriminated, I will stand up for them. I will not hesitate to tell that person they are wrong, that they need to apologize for what they have just said or the action they just did, that they need to show this person, my friend, some respect.
That's
And,
right.
um, I will not tolerate that. Any forms of discrimination, not only in this sector, this community, but any form of discrimination, I will, honestly, there are some times where I have to hold myself
Mm-mm.
back because I'm worried I will go too far. But really, I hope that we don't see that so
Mm-mm.
much, especially after ECQ when everyone comes out again. I hope everyone will be respectful
Mm-mm.
of our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQIA plus community.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you, Paul, for that one last question. Whew. All right. Thank you so much, Queen Hannah, for this opportunity. So, if you have any message or would you like to give any message to anyone you would like to address to. So this is the time for you to send your messages and of course promote your projects, especially your advocacy and your social media platforms where they can follow you.
Yes, so first and foremost, thank you, Tito. You would like to be addressed as Tito. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tito, for
Mhm.
having me and Pageant Mag Feels and
Mhm.
everyone who tuned in tonight or will rewatch this after.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for that support. Simply being with us tonight truly means a lot. And um, your questions helped me a lot, although I'm losing my voice now over 2 hours of talking. It really helped me. It got my brain thinking. There's a lot
Mhm.
of current issues. And just because coronation night is over, it doesn't mean that I have to stop answering.
Mhm.
I'm still here to speak for those who don't have that platform. So thank you for these questions. Um, to anyone who ever liked a picture of mine, commented or shared anything throughout my whole Binibining Filipinas journey since 2019, thank you, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't again, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for all those specific points in my
Mhm.
life. With your help, I wouldn't have become the Jag Denim Queen. Also, if it wasn't for everyone's shares, I wouldn't be in the top 10 of national costume for 2 years in a row. Also, if it wasn't for you guys, so thank you so much, all of the Handies, and thank you to Trisha for tonight for your questions and your artwork since 2019. Thank you, Arvin, for your questions. Thank you, Ralph, Teresa, Paul. There's so many of you. Thank you so much. And just, I hope you will all continue to pray for me and my other Queen sisters and for Dindy and for the other girls that will be representing the Philippines and those that are candidates at the moment. Just pray for all of us because to compete during this pandemic is not an easy thing. There's a lot of sacrifices we have to make. We also have to give up work and
Mm-mm.
time with our family. So I hope everyone will just give that respect to everyone, and also for those who are worried with where their dreams are going at the moment, just trust the process, don't give up, and always pray. So yes, please continue to support me as I head over to Miss International for the 60th edition.
Mhm.
Such an honor to be representing the Philippines, and I'm so excited for everything that we have planned, and I'm sure I will guest here again very soon.
Hopefully, hopefully, we are
Yes,
looking
yes, po.
forward to that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
so thank you so much, everyone. Love you all.
All right. We love you too, Queen Hannah. And thank you so much to all our viewers who've stayed up until this moment. That's already 2 hours and almost 30 minutes. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, guys. And if you have not liked yet our Facebook page, please do like and follow us as well, and subscribe and click our bell notification on our YouTube channel as well, guys. So for more pageant updates. So thank you so much once again. Thank you, Queen Hannah, and to BPCI um for allowing us to have you tonight for gracing our live sessions this special episode. Thank you so much, and
Thank
thank you
you.
for your time talaga. Oh my
Thank
god.
you. It's okay. Thank you. I
Mm-mm.
really loved like I said before we went live, you're very organized. You had it well planned out. So thank you. Thank you for this.
You're welcome. It's my honor talaga to have you. Laban to the seventh crown. And definitely we are always here to support you. You definitely I am assuring you of that as well. Our support, of course. All right.
Thank
So
you.
introduction daw. Wala na siyang boses, guys.
Yes, it's really disappearing now. Actually, I'm not sure if in Miss International we really announce ourselves like that. Pero sige,
Mm-mm.
lawan lang. Okay. I am Hannah Constantino Arnold, Philippines. Because I have no voice now.
Oo. And as far as I know, it's gonna be voice over, di ba? Like,
Yes, usually it's
mm-mm.
the host. They do it in Japanese and translation.
Translate it in translate from English to Japanese, no? Mm-mm. So thank you so much once again, guys. Tomorrow we'll see you once again at 3 p.m. with Cindy Obenita, our Binibini Pilipinas Intercontinental 2021. So, all right. So thank you for your time. I'll see you all tomorrow, and God bless you all. Good night and good morning, good afternoon, and good day to everyone.
Good
Bye.
night. Stay safe, everyone.
Yeah, stay safe and see you all
Good
when the
night.
pandemic is over. Bye bye.